Hello, and welcome to Inspirations by Dr. Gail. This is episode 1. I'm Dr. Gail L. Thompson, the founder and CEO of Inspirations by Gail, LLC. As the author of numerous books, nationally known motivational speaker, and former endowed professor of education, my goal is to share stories, life lessons, and strategies to help you live your best life. Today, my topic is the girl who thought she was cursed. This is part 1 of the series, You Are All That and More. But first, let me remind you to subscribe to this podcast and share it with your networks if you haven't already done so. To subscribe, please visit my website, www.drgailthompson.com. That's www.drgailthompson.com. Let me begin this episode titled The Girl Who Thought She Was Cursed, which, as I mentioned, is part of the series You Are All That and More, with a true story that I wrote about in my latest book, Dear Beautiful, a self-empowerment book for Black women. Here's the story. Long ago, when I was an 18-year-old college student, I knew another student. This African-American student actually believed that Black women were cursed. Even though we saw each other every day, we definitely weren't friends. But I often heard her tell other African-American women, Black women are cursed. And whenever anyone tried to change her mind, this young woman would argue that she was right and they were wrong. Unfortunately, negative messages from the media, her childhood, and other sources had convinced her that this was true and no one could change her mind. But over time, something interesting happened. This woman's beliefs about Black women began to change. And the good news is that today, she's an entirely different woman. Not only does she believe that Black women, like all women, are beautiful, but she knows for certain that like all women, we were made in the image of God and that God didn't make a mistake when He created us. I'm also happy to tell you that this woman and I are now best friends. We see each other every single day. We have the exact same name. We look identical. We live in the same house, and each morning when I first see her in the mirror, I say, "Good morning, beautiful." By now, I'm sure you figured out that I was that college student who used to believe that Black women were cursed and viewed as the lowest of women. But here's the big question. How did I go from believing that I was cursed to learning to accept and love the person whom God created me to be? Here are the answers. First, I had to change my mindset, my core beliefs about myself. Second, I had to adopt the correct beliefs about myself and convince myself of the following. No matter what I'd been told or what I'd been through, God created me in His image. I wasn't inferior to anyone. I was good enough, smart enough, talented enough, and beautiful. And if I worked hard and made wise choices, I could have a bright future. In future podcasts, you'll learn more about my transformational journey. But here's the main point that I want you to take away from today's podcast. No matter what you've been told or what you've been through, you are good enough, smart enough, talented enough, and if you work hard and make wise choices, you can have a bright future. But this bright future begins with your beliefs about yourself. Here are some reasons why your beliefs about yourself are so important. First, what you believe about yourself is more important than what anyone else says or believes about you. What you believe about yourself determines how you act, how you let others treat you, what you can accomplish in life, and so much more. Before I share the first personal empowerment challenge with you, if you don't already have one, I recommend that you buy a composition book, journal, or notebook, and you can get these very inexpensively from your local dollar store to use for this particular series of challenges and all of the future challenges that I'll be sharing with you. Now here's that personal empowerment challenge. In your personal empowerment journal, please answer the following questions. Number 1, what are your main or core beliefs about yourself? Number 2, how often do you think in positive or good ways about yourself? Number 3, when negative thoughts about yourself come to mind, what do you do? Number 4 is a statement that I would like for you to respond to. Explain why you agree or disagree with this statement, which I want you to personalize. No matter what I've been told or what I've been through, I am good enough, smart enough, talented enough, and if I work hard and make wise choices, I can have a bright future. Number 5, review your answers to questions 1, 2, and 3, and then that statement that I ask you to explain if you agreed or disagreed with it, and then explain what you can learn from what you wrote. Number 6 is the most challenging part of this first empowerment challenge. For the next 21 days, regardless of how you feel, each day when you get up in the morning, repeat this out loud. No matter what I've been told or what I've been through, I am good enough, smart enough, talented enough, and if I work hard and make wise choices, I can have a bright future. The reason why I'm asking you to repeat this statement out loud for a minimum of 21 days is this. Research shows that it takes at least 21 days of consistent work to break a bad habit. So if you wake up in the morning with negative messages and thoughts about yourself, here's a great way to start breaking that habit. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you will join me next week to hear Don't Believe That Lie. This is part 2 of You Are All That and More. To learn more about a deadly lie that has harmed countless people, please plan to tune in. For more information about Inspirations by Gail, LLC, or to learn how to invite me to speak to your group or organization, or learn how to purchase my books, please visit my website, www.drgail.com. drgailthompson.com. And remember, that's also the best way to subscribe to this podcast and to share it with your networks. If you're interested in the theme music for this podcast, please check out music by Aaron Nimbus on iTunes. This music was produced by my son, Stephen. In the meantime, please remember this. No matter what you've been told or what you've been through, you are good enough, smart enough, talented enough, and if you work hard and make wise choices, you can have a bright future. Hugs and blessings. Until next time, I'm Dr. Gail L. Thompson.